Alright, so here I got another battle versus another dude from Smogon. This fool's using a bunch of shit. He's not using any weather, but most of his team is fairly standard. The only thing out of the ordinary there is the Jolteon, which actually poses quite a threat to my team, since my Jellicent and my Jellicent Skarmory combo thingy that I have going on are both weak to electric type attacks, obviously. So even though I do have Garchomp to take some hits, I'm gonna be unable to take a HP Ice if he is carrying it, which he more than likely is, because otherwise Jolteon is pretty much useless in this metagame. So yeah, bunch of other threats on his team. He does have a horse. He has a Kingdra, which I'm kind of worried about, since if he brings that shit out late game, starts like Dragon Dancing or Rain Dancing, then I'm gonna be fucked. But if it is a Dragon Dance variant, I do have my Skarmory to essentially take a few hits. Won't be able to do too much in return to it, but at least I could hopefully whirlwind him out or something. And if he's a special variant, I do have Jellicent, which should be able to take most of his hits, since he'll be unable to use his main stab against me, being that I do have the water absorb ability. But he could always like Draco Meteor me or some shit. But yeah, I'm pretty much going to leave with Terrakion here, simply because nothing on his team likes Terrakion, which is often the case. So I'm going to go ahead and leave with it and see what the fuck he ends up doing. I was thinking he'd probably lead off with Jolteon, which would immediately force him to Volt Switch out, and then he has absolutely nothing to take close combat. So I was hoping to do that, and yeah, let's see how it goes. So he's actually going to end up leading with his own Terrakion, and we both have a few options here. We could both very possibly be Scarfed, which is more than likely going to be the case, or he could be one of those stupid fucking quote-unquote Terrakion leads in 5th gen, hello, that NOJMP uses. But hey, it works for him, so I'm thinking he might be Slash. So I'm gonna go into Jellicent. I don't really want to risk my horse so early, because it's pretty much pointless. I could simply go out to Jellicent. He's more than likely gonna go into clip for the close combat, which is exactly what he does. So now that I'm essentially 100% sure he's going to switch, I'm going to fire off a Will-O-Wisp, trying to get off a burn on the Ferrothorn, but he actually ends up going to Jolteon, and I missed, so that's quite unfortunate, since the burn would have helped me, but it actually ends up to not matter in the long run. But now I'm forced to decide whether or not this dude is going to predict or not, and I actually end up going to Garchomp, doing the very obvious move, and that was a failure. So yeah, it turns out this dude actually can predict, so that's actually pretty good information. Garchomp could have done stuff, but whatever, he's already dead. This is going to allow me to bring in my Terrakion, and I know he only has one thing on his team that wants to take a close combat, and that is his Gyarados, which will definitely not appreciate a Stone Edge, so I was pretty sure he'd go into that. So yeah, he predicted one of my moves. Now I'm going to predict him, and I'm going to go one step further and predict him yet again. Since I know he knows how to predict, I'm going to predict him to predict me to go either into my Jellicent or my Skarmory to take the very obvious Bullet Punch, or my Genesect. Since I have like 9 things on my team that wants to take a Bullet Punch, I knew he would switch. There is no reason for me to stay in, which is exactly why I stay in. So yeah, I just wasted like 9 turns talking about one move there, trying to make myself look good. But yeah, shit is happening. Kingdra's in here. I think he brought in Terrakion, and I took a hit, and I'm gonna go for the Roost. He brings in this Kingdra. I know he's probably gonna go for the Rain Dance or the Dragon Dance. In any case, Roar is the way to go. So now he's gonna go into this Ferrothorn here, and I'm gonna set up some spikes, because there's not really anything he can do to me. Worst case scenario, he has the Leech Seed, which is exactly what he ends up having. So now I'm going to go for another layer of spikes, just trying to see what the fuck he's going to do. He hasn't got up Hazard yet, so that's what he decides to do this turn. And I believe I'm going to go out to Heatran right now or something. This section of the battle is pretty stally, because as you can see, he ends up probably predicting my Terrakion to come in here. So he goes for the T-Wave, and then I'm paralyzed. I actually ended up going for the Earth Power there, because I figured there was no way he's going to let his Ferrothorn take a Lava Plume, but I guess he figured he could take one since the rain was still up at that point. So from here on out, my Heatran will be using Stealth Rock most of these times, but I never end up getting him up because I'm paralyzed like infinity times in a fucking row. So I know he's gonna rain dance here, so I'm gonna bring in my Jellicent here, probably predicting him to go either for rain dance or the hydro pump or some shit like that, waterfall maybe. But now I could either predict him to go for the Draco Meteor and recover off most of my damage, or go for the Ice Beam, which is what I do. Probably not the best option, but whatever. Now, for some reason here, he decides to go for Ferrothorn, predicting me to switch out maybe into Genesect or some shit. But I believe Kingdra is going to be able to outspeed my Genesect even if I'm Scarfed, so I don't really know. But that gave me an opportunity to recover off some more damage and bring Heatran back in. And as you can see, there's going to be a lot of pair hacks. I was still trying to get up Stealth Rock, not trying to get him with the fucking Lava Plume, because he does have the rain up and it's not going to kill. And this Heatran is actually carrying 252 attack EVs, so kind of a miss gen, because I don't Pokestop, lol. But yeah, here I decided to not go for Stealth Rock. For some reason I went for the Earth Power, and yeah, that didn't do shit, because obviously 0 special attack. Heatran isn't really very powerful. But yeah, here I go for Stealth Rock, then I get paralyzed. He went for Draco Meteor there. He was predicting my Jellicent to come in on the very obvious water move, but I figured he'd probably over predict or predict wrong, which is exactly what he did. So now he's gonna go into Ferrothorn, and I pretty much lose my Stealth Rocks. So yeah, no more Stealth Rocks, but I still got this shit because I got Horse ready to destroy everything in sight. You know how I do it. He doesn't have anything that could take a close combat at this point, so he's gonna pretty much fodder off his Ferrothorn here, and that's pretty good for me because Ferrothorn is kind of annoying with all that T-Wave and Leech Seed bullshit he was doing. So he's gonna go into Scizor here. I'm pretty sure he's gonna go for the Bullet Punch, so I'm gonna go into my Jellicent. I still have Jellicent, Skarmory, as well as my fucking what's it called, Genesect. Did I say that already? I don't fucking know, but I got 3 more shits that want to take a Bullet Punch. I figured he was banded, but since he didn't use U-turn that other time when I stayed in, that should have been a big clue that he was Swords Dance and not the Choice Banded variant, because Swords Dance with U-turn isn't really that common, even though I use it sometimes. But yeah, thankfully I get off a burn on this shit, so he's essentially gonna lose his Scizor here. He needed a few crits, or he needed me to miss the Will-O-Wisp, which I did not end up doing, so he's pretty much fucked. He's gonna need like +6, even then he's not gonna be able to kill me because Jellicent resists both of his main stabs. And yeah, I'm just gonna go for the Scout here. Hopefully it'll take him out, but unfortunately it doesn't. But since I do have the burn up, that's gonna be able to take him out. So now he's only got Kingdra left and Terrakion left. Wait, did I kill a Kingdra? I don't fucking know, but Terrakion's gonna come in here, threaten out all my shit, so I don't want anything to get critted. Jellicent, I don't really want to keep around anymore because I feel like it's kind of dead weight. So I was hoping maybe he'd miss Stone Edge and then I could fire off a Scout on it, but he actually does hit the Stone Edge, which is gonna leave me free to go into my own Terrakion, since I'm assuming he's still choiced at this point, probably Choice Scarf like I said, and fire off some more close combat. So he's gonna need a few crits actually, because I think Genesect might be able to take a hit, and then I do have Skarmory sitting at like 80% or so. So yep, looks like it's over for him, because now all I have to do is fodder off one of my pokes. I could just let Horse die, but there's no reason to do that, no reason to sacrifice a horse like that. So I'm gonna sacrifice Genesect, gonna allow me to bring in Skarmory. He's gonna be unable to take me out, and I'm gonna easily kill him off with the -2 Brave Bird. So that's gonna be it. So yeah, that dude thought he was slick trying to predict me with Garchomp, but then I kind of out predicted him in the end there. So comment, rate, all that shit. I'm out.